Hey, Dr. Chad Kuntz here. We're back at it again. Today I want to go over the 3 best ways to help stretch your clients' tight pecs. People are sitting more than ever. They're driving. They're working at office jobs, and they come to you. They want to work out. And to get into an overhead motion or to get good extension with certain movements, you're realizing that you're just unable to do that because their chest is too tight. And the typical exercises just aren't cutting it, where your arms up, a 90-degree angle, and you lean in, and maybe you found it difficult to truly get the stretch you're looking for. So I wanted to take today to show you 3 of the best unorthodox and at times unusual ways that I found to get a really good stretch into the pecs. So let's get right into it. So the first one is actually going to be a pec stretch with a band. Now, time out. When I was an undergrad, they taught us that it's not good to stretch with a band. Now, I tend to disagree based upon my clinical and anecdotal findings and having just tried it out. My theory is that with the band pulling, there's some level of fight. In this case, my hand is back being pulled by that heavy-duty elastic band. So my pecs are actually slowly allowing my arm to go back further and further. There's some level of reciprocal inhibition and proprioceptive input that can actually help your body learn to release. Okay? So to do this stretch, you're going to get in a half kneeling position. And ideally, you can see that the band is elevated compared to where my body's at. Notice that my palm's up. I'm reaching back, giving you a weird, creepy look at this point in time. I'm in a half kneeling position. All right, so at that point, I'm reaching up, which will get a little bit more into the pec minor. Because if you saw, because I'm rotated and I'm actually side bent to the left, my arm's really like right around 90 degrees. It's not even all that high, but it feels like it's way up there. When I try to elevate, that is insanely tight for me, and it'll be for your clients as well. Most likely because you're not only getting into the pec minor, but remember, the nerves run right underneath that. So I felt almost kind of a nerve burning deep stretch when I tried resisting it and elevating it even higher. So this is just a lateral view. I'm in my half kneeling position. Make sure they're not getting too much extension from the lower lumbar spine. I'm leaning forwards, letting the band pull me, and I'm going as far as I can go. And you'll notice as you keep doing this that the clients are able to go a little bit further and further each and every time. So by the way, too, with any questions, just feel free to email me. Just reply back to this email when I send it out, okay? So that's the first stretch I wanted to go over. The second stretch is what I call an unconventional pec stretch. So you're going to lie on your side, and I'll give you a better view in a second, but in this case I'm stretching my right pec, my arm's pinned back there, I'm in external rotation, bringing up the opposite hip, so in this case my left hip, my left knee. When I bring that up higher, and if I keep my left leg back behind me in extension, that locks out my lower back and arguably some of my mid-thoracic spine. So as I reach up there, the only thing that really is moving is maybe my upper thoracic and my right pec. So I'm reaching up actively. I found my limiting factor there. You can see my palms in external rotation, my arms in external rotation. And that's a great angle where I'm feeling my stretch. As people bring their arm up, you might notice a lot of people right there is where they're limited. And that's totally fine. You can pause there if you wanted to, plant the arm, and then you can push up. And then so I drive up through my left arm. I'm getting extension of the spine and left rotation in the thoracic spine, which is needed and coupled with the arm motion that I need to have good pec releases with. And at this point, what's kind of cool about that right there is that it's forcing my arm to load in that stretch position. And I like that. I've learned that when you load the muscle, you load the arm in an elongated and stretched position, it does hella good to the pecs. So what I'm showing you there is that after I did a couple reps, my arm could actually clear the floor the entire time. showing me that I got looser. And you'll see that after just doing a few of the stretches. What's super nice too just about the setup is that you're literally like lying down. You can pretty much do it anywhere. You don't need a door anymore. You just lie down, put your arm on the ground, push up, and you can actually progress it by bringing that opposite side of knee up, and that'll lock out more of the lower lumbar spine. So it is amazing that as you bring your opposite knee up, who would have thought, as you bring your opposite knee and hip up and you lock that out, you get a better pec stretch. So that's the second one I wanted to show you, and that one's the unconventional stretch. And I'm going to save the best for last. I freaking love this, and I call it an upper body extension stretch. I'm not sure what else to call it. I didn't think about it, stay up all night. But I freaking love this stretch. Almost everyone you know could probably benefit from this. So we're standing. We're in a slight lunge position. The bands are slightly elevated, so I just happen to use that abdominal chair, but you could grab those heavy-duty elastic bands on anything. So it's just above my shoulders. I'm trying not to get too much lower lumbar lordosis or extension into that. So I'm actually trying to keep my core activated, driving my heart forwards and letting the bands pull me. There's going to be some level of resistance my pecs are doing. They're kind of wondering, is it safe for me to go back this far? So they're kind of fighting me the whole way, and then they slowly release. And I started with my arms below shoulder level, and that's kind of what I'd encourage you to do with your clients. And then I progressed it up in an elevated position. My arms aren't even in like above 90 there. That's what's crazy. I might be at 90 degrees or maybe a touch more. So I feel an insane good chest stretch there all across my pecs. I feel some nerves tingling and burning and stretching that stuff out too. And I had to correct my neck position right there because a lot of times to compensate, the head leans forward. So I had to cue myself, and you could cue your clients to bring your head up. That'll actually allow a little bit more of a stretch. And I'll give you a front angle here in a second. So here we are at the front angle, half kneeling or standing lunge position. That's the original position, kind of falling into it. I am using my legs to help, provide the stability. And then you could play with elevating your arms either in that position, or you could reset like I'm doing there. And you're going to see just a world of hurt difference. Now you can see the difference, and I'd encourage you to observe your differences in your clients. Look at that face. With my right arm into more external rotation, my left arm's having a harder time, and this is true of me. I notice when I do pecs and bench press, my right arm dives down lower than my left. So you can use this to be assessing them too. Which arm's tighter? My left arm is just lights out tight. And don't be alarmed if you're stretching your nerves. Nerves have to stretch too. They fall right underneath the pec minor. So that's totally normal. So those are 3 ways to help stretch your pecs somewhat unconventionally. I do find value in using elastic bands a lot. They also help pull the joint apart. They provide some traction, which is countered to gravity, which we're all facing all the time. So anytime you can take a joint and kind of just open it up and give a nice stretch, great feedback to the neuromuscular system too, as well as the muscles and to the nerves and to the nervous system. So go try those out. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Reply back, and would love to continue to help you guys out in the future. So thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day.